Some advice is golden. The rest is, well, this. We've compiled 101 pieces of monumentally stupid advice that people have actually followed. These aren't just bad ideas, they're masterpieces of human error. 1. Got a nasty burn? The ancient scrolls of idiocy say to smear butter on it. This doesn't just trap the heat. It effectively begins to slow cook your own flesh, marinating it in dairy fat for a future infection. You're not healing a wound. You're becoming a human confit. 2. Feeling your eyes close on the highway? Just blast the AC in your face. That icy gust is a fantastic psychological trick that makes you feel awake for about 90 seconds, right before your brain finally wins the argument and you plow through the drive-thru of a Taco Bell. Backwards. 3. A grease fire erupts on your stove. The classic panic move? Throw a cup of water on it. This doesn't extinguish the flames. It creates a spectacular, room-engulfing fireball of burning oil. You haven't solved a small problem. You've just taught fire how to fly and redecorated your kitchen in a style best described as inferno chic. 4. If a grizzly bear charges you, play dead. This is stellar advice if your life's ambition was to be the easiest meal that bear has ever had. You're supposed to fight a grizzly. You play dead for a brown bear. Mixing this up turns a survival situation into a self-service buffet. 5. Keep bananas from ripening by putting them in the fridge. This hack successfully halts the ripening process by flash-aging the peel into a blackened, weeping, vaguely terrifying husk. Your banana won't be ripe, but it will look like it has clinical depression and a drinking problem. 6. Here's some timeless dating advice. Treat them mean. Keep them keen. This is a surefire way to attract incredibly broken people who mistake emotional abuse for passion. You won't find a soulmate, but you will find someone who will key your car in a fit of loving rage. A real keeper. 7. No time to iron? The internet's favorite shortcut is clamping your shirt collar with a hair straightener. This works perfectly, leaving you with a crisp collar and a single, glaring brown scorch mark that tells everyone, "I almost had my life together today." 8. Lost in the wilderness? Remember, moss only grows on the north side of trees, except, of course, for all the times it grows on the south, east, and west sides. Following this advice doesn't just get you lost, it gets you confidently lost, marching in circles until you become a cautionary tale for squirrels. 9. To boost your car key fob's range, hold it to your head. They say your water-filled skull acts as an amplifier. All it really does is make you stand in a parking lot looking like you're trying to telepathically summon your 2008 Toyota Camry while giving yourself a low-grade headache. 10. To sanitize that disgusting kitchen sponge, just microwave it. This works until your roommate, unaware of your science experiment, goes to reheat their pizza and it comes out tasting faintly of old dish soap and the primordial soup of last week's chili. Culinary genius. 11. Stung by a jellyfish? The solution, beloved by sitcoms, is to have someone pee on it. This myth achieves nothing but turning your moment of agony into a bizarre piece of performance art for the entire beach. So now you're still in excruciating pain, but you're also wet, sticky, and the center of a very weird story. 12. Out of dishwasher detergent? A tiny drop of dish soap will do. That one drop doesn't clean your dishes. It triggers a biblical-level foam event, a sudsy eruption that will seep from every crevice of the machine until your kitchen floor looks like the set of a failed Nickelodeon game show. 13. Worried about a hangover? Chug a gallon of water before bed. This doesn't prevent a hangover. It just trades it for a night of bladder-related torture. You'll simply be waking up every 45 minutes like a faulty sprinkler system. 14. If your laptop is overheating, place it on a bag of frozen peas. This brilliant idea combines the thrill of potential water damage with the certainty of ruining dinner. You create condensation right over the motherboard while simultaneously defrosting your peas into a sad, mushy puddle of failure. 15. If you swallow chewing gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years. Your digestive system can successfully wage war on a 3-day-old gas station burrito, but it's going to be defeated by a tiny pink square of double bubble? It's not signing a 7-year lease in your colon. 16. There's a persistent household myth that pouring a can of Coke is a secret weapon for cleaning your toilet. The acid might lift some grime, but it leaves behind a sticky film that turns your bathroom into an all-you-can-eat buffet for every ant and fly in the tri-state area. 17. To clean your ears, just use a cotton swab. This doesn't remove wax. It just compacts it into a dense plug against your eardrum, like you're packing gunpowder into a tiny cannon. You're not cleaning your ears. You're just methodically ensuring a future of hearing loss and profound regret. 18. To save gas, just shift your car into neutral while coasting downhill. This clever trick turns your 2-ton vehicle into an unpowered projectile with significantly reduced braking and steering control. You might save 12 cents on gas right before causing a $50,000 pileup. A masterclass in economics. 19. The best way to cure hiccups is to have someone scare you. This is only effective if the scare is genuine, pants-wetting terror. So you trade a minor annoyance for a potential heart attack and a newfound distrust of all your friends. But hey, at least you died without the hiccups. 20. The spaghetti against the wall test. A sacred culinary ritual for some. That single noodle will remain on your wall, collecting dust and silent judgment as a lasting monument to the day you decided tasting your own food was just too much effort. 21. Here's a sacred rite of passage: applying a gritty, mint-flavored floor cleaner, also known as toothpaste, to a stubborn pimple. This doesn't heal it. It just aggravates it into a brighter, angrier volcano that now smells faintly of wintergreen. 22. To drive safely, you must keep your hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. This sacred driving school mantra was fantastic advice before airbags were invented to explode at 200 miles per hour. Now, this grip doesn't make you safer. It just ensures that a minor fender bender will result in the airbag punching your own thumbs directly into your eye sockets. 23. Dropped your phone in water. Immediately bury it in a bowl of uncooked rice. This is the modern equivalent of a rain dance for your electronics. You're not drying it out. You're just entombing it in a starchy sarcophagus where moisture and rice dust can form a lovely corrosive paste inside. 24. Buying the generic store brand is a golden rule for saving money. This works beautifully until you get to things like trash bags. Saving 50 cents is brilliant, right up to the moment the bag disintegrates, creating a Jackson Pollock painting of last night's dinner on your kitchen floor. 25. If you're too drunk, a strong cup of coffee will sober you right up. This doesn't make you sober. It just transforms a sleepy, manageable drunk into a wide-awake, hyperactive menace with the same terrible judgment but 10 times the energy. You're no longer a drunk, you're a guided missile of bad ideas. 26. Spilled red wine on the carpet. The fight fire with fire logic says to pour white wine on it. This doesn't neutralize the stain. It just expands it and makes your living room smell like the floor of a winery. Now you just have a bigger, stickier problem. 27. To reduce puffiness, just place chilled cucumber slices over your eyes. A classic spa treatment that makes you look like a rejected salad garnish. It does absolutely nothing that a simple, cool compress couldn't do, except it also wastes 2 perfectly good slices of cucumber that you could have been eating while contemplating your other poor life choices. 28. Need to break in new shoes? Wear them with thick socks and blast them with a hairdryer. This method expertly melts the glue holding your shoes together and warps the synthetic materials into a new, even more uncomfortable shape. You're not breaking them in. You're performing a low-budget cremation. 29. To stop a dog from barking, you should bark back at it. This doesn't establish you as the alpha. It just confirms to the dog and all of your neighbors that you are a complete and utter lunatic. You're not solving a problem. You're auditioning for the role of weirdo who argues with animals. 30. If you're choking, the best thing to do is drink a big glass of water. Yes, try to force liquid down the same pipe that is currently 100% blocked by a piece of steak. This is a fantastic way to upgrade your choking situation to a choking and drowning situation. Efficiency at its finest. 31. Want a quick and easy way to kill weeds? Just pour salt all over them. Congratulations, you've not only killed the weeds, but you have also scorched the earth beneath, ensuring that nothing, not grass, not flowers, not hope, will ever grow there again. 32. If your car overheats, turn the heater on full blast. This pulls heat from the engine by turning your car's interior into a rolling convection oven. You might save the engine, but only after you've been peeled off the vinyl seats like a human fruit roll-up. 33. Want to lose weight? Just skip breakfast. This is a brilliant strategy for turning yourself into a famished, rage-fueled monster by 11 a.m., at which point you will consume everything in the break room vending machine, including the machine itself. 34. To clean your glasses, just use the corner of your shirt. The fabric on your shirt is a perfect blend of body oils, dust particles, and microscopic debris, making it the ideal tool for grinding a series of tiny, vision-blurring scratches directly into your expensive lenses. 35. The best place to hide a spare key is under the doormat or a fake rock. This isn't a secret hiding spot. It's a universal welcome gift for any burglar with more than 2 brain cells. You're not being clever. You're just putting a convenient little "admit one" ticket right at the entrance to your home for anyone who wants to steal your television. 36. To get perfect, hard-boiled eggs, just add a little vinegar to the water. This is supposed to keep the shells from cracking. Sometimes it works. Other times, it does nothing but ensure your entire house and the resulting eggs smell like feet. A delicious, sulfur and vinegar-scented breakfast. 37. Never wake a sleepwalker. This myth insists that startling them could give them a heart attack. In reality, the biggest danger is them waking up on their own while standing on the roof or trying to start the lawnmower in the living room. Gently guide them back to bed, you monster. 38. To avoid crying while cutting onions, just hold a piece of bread in your mouth. This does absolutely nothing, but it does make you look like a complete imbecile, standing in your kitchen with a slice of Wonder Bread hanging out of your mouth like a sad gluten-based tongue. 39. If you get caught in a rip current at the beach, you should swim directly back to shore. This is the most intuitive and also the most deadly advice possible. It's like trying to run up a downward-moving escalator, but the escalator is the entire ocean and it wants you dead. 40. This one sounds like a fever dream, but people swear by it, fixing a scratched DVD by rubbing it with a banana. You're not polishing the disc. You're filling its grooves with a sugary fruit paste that will make your disc player smell like a monkey's lunchbox. 41. To get a job, you need to be aggressive. Show up unannounced. Call every day. This doesn't show you're a go-getter. It shows you have no understanding of professional boundaries and are one step away from becoming the subject of a restraining order. You're not getting a job, you're getting a reputation. 42. When you have a nosebleed, you should tilt your head back. This is a fantastic tip if your goal is to have all that blood run down the back of your throat, causing you to gag and possibly vomit. You don't stop the bleeding, you just reroute it to a more disgusting destination. 43. Got garlic breath? The classic advice is to chew on some parsley. This briefly makes your breath smell like garlic and parsley, a truly confusing combination. It's like putting a tiny green hat on a monster. The monster is still there, it just looks slightly more festive. 44. When merging onto the highway, it's polite to slow down and wait for an opening. This isn't politeness, it's a disaster recipe. Highways run on speed and confidence. Slowing down on the on-ramp just turns your car into a stationary target for traffic moving at 70 miles per hour. You're auditioning to become a hood ornament. 45. Don't have a bottle opener, just use your teeth. This is a classic power move for people who want to trade a temporary moment of looking cool for a lifetime of expensive, painful dental work. Your teeth are for chewing food, not for fighting with inanimate objects. You will lose. 46. To clean your microwave, just put a bowl of water and lemon juice in and turn it on. This is fine, but the real stupid tip is to forget to put a wooden spoon in the bowl. Without it, the water can superheat and literally explode when you open the door, giving you a steam facial from hell. 47. If you're feeling sad, just force yourself to smile. They say it can trick your brain into being happy. It can also make you look like a deranged ventriloquist's dummy, terrifying friends and strangers alike. Your brain isn't tricked. It's just confused about why you're smiling at your eviction notice. 48. Behold, a law of physics for dads everywhere. Testing a battery by dropping it. This has been widely debunked, but persists as a ritual about as accurate as predicting the weather by looking at a frog. 49. The 5-second rule. If you drop food on the floor, it's safe to eat if you pick it up within 5 seconds. Bacteria, famously, are very polite and will wait for a 5 count before leaping onto your cookie. They are not, in fact, already covering every square inch of your floor. 50. A clogged drain calls for the classic at-home science fair volcano, baking soda and vinegar. This creates a fun, fizzy show in your sink that does absolutely nothing to the horrifying clog of hair and grease living deep in your pipes. You've just entertained the clog before it floods your bathroom. 51. For the closest possible shave, you absolutely must go against the grain. This technique doesn't give you smoother skin. It transforms your face into a hostile, topographical map of Mars, red, bumpy, and full of angry craters. It's less of a shave, more of a declaration of war on your own epidermis. 52. You should always wash raw chicken in the sink. This doesn't clean the chicken. It simply provides the salmonella with a delightful misting system, allowing it to joyfully colonize every surface in your kitchen. Each meal you prepare thereafter becomes a thrilling high-stakes game of gastrointestinal roulette. 53. If it squeaks or sticks, the answer is always WD-40. But it's a solvent, not a lubricant. Using it is like fixing a headache with a hammer. The squeak will briefly vanish, only to return with a deeper, more profound level of structural despair. 54. If there's just a little mold on bread or cheese, you can just cut it off. The classic mold to pay maneuver. Slicing off the fuzzy part ignores the vast invisible root system that has already claimed the entire food item. It's a denial strategy that ends with you eating something with the biological complexity of a small forest floor. 55. The secret to success? Fake it till you make it. This advice exists on the razor's edge between a motivational TED Talk and a federal indictment. It works brilliantly, right up to the moment someone asks you to actually do the thing you faked knowing how to do, leading to a spectacular career-ending implosion of pure incompetence. 56. For streak-free windows, clean them with newspaper. A beloved tip from an era when ink actually stayed on the page. Today, this just swaps dirt streaks for a greasy gray film, making your view of the outside world look like a depressing French art house film from the 1970s. Smudgy, bleak, and full of regret. 57. Want natural highlights? Just squirt lemon juice in your hair and bake yourself in the sun. This doesn't result in a sun-kissed look. It's more of an acid-washed frizz. Your hair emerges from this citrusy torture session with the alarming color of a rusty carrot and the brittle texture of a bird's nest abandoned for the winter. 58. Feeling congested? Eat the spiciest food you can find. This doesn't clear your sinuses. It just initiates a full system meltdown where every orifice on your face begins to leak uncontrollably. You haven't solved congestion. You've simply transformed from a person with a stuffy nose into a walking, human water feature of profound misery. 59. If you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours forever. A beautiful sentiment for poetry, a catastrophic strategy for property ownership. Apply this logic to your wallet or your car, and you'll quickly discover it's less about destiny and more about filing a very awkward police report. 60. You can make toast by turning your toaster on its side. This is a favorite life hack that's more like a life-ending hack. The journey from, wow, this is working, to, oh God, the fire alarm, is breathtakingly fast and smells of burning bread and shattered dreams. 61. If you're cold, a shot of brandy will warm you right up. That pleasant warmth you feel is just blood rushing to your skin's surface, which actually makes your core temperature drop faster. It's a physiological lie that makes you feel cozy right before you get dangerously cold. A truly classic winter blunder. 62. To keep a cut from getting infected, douse it in hydrogen peroxide. That satisfying fizz isn't the sound of germs dying. It's the sound of you indiscriminately killing both the bad bacteria and all the healthy new cells your body is sending to heal the wound. It's like weeding a garden with a flamethrower. 63. When giving a speech, just imagine the audience in their underwear. Why would you do that to yourself? This doesn't reduce anxiety. It introduces a gallery of horrifying, distracting mental images that you must now process while trying to sound confident and intelligent. It's psychological self-sabotage. 64. To get water out of your ear, hop on one leg while tilting your head. This time-honored poolside dance makes you look like a malfunctioning flamingo and accomplishes absolutely nothing. The water isn't coming out. It's just sitting in there, mocking your futile efforts and enjoying the ride. 65. Getting a base tan will protect you from sunburn on vacation. A base tan is not a shield. It is pre-existing cellular damage. That's like preparing for a major house fire by first setting a series of smaller, more manageable fires around your home. The logic is, to put it mildly, deeply flawed. 66. The best way to thaw frozen meat is to leave it on the counter all day. This method creates a perfect temperature gradient for bacterial growth. The outside becomes a paradise for pathogens, while the inside remains a frozen block of ice. You're not just defrosting dinner, you're cultivating a science fair project for food poisoning. 67. You must step on a cockroach to kill it. This approach often results in a sickening crunch and the grim discovery that you've just smeared its guts, and potentially its egg sac, across your floor. You haven't solved the problem. You've just become the unwilling midwife for its hundreds of horrifying offspring. 68. Can't sleep? Just start counting sheep. This doesn't relax your brain. It gives it a second, profoundly boring job to do right when it's supposed to clock out. You're not drifting off. You're just becoming an unpaid census taker for imaginary livestock. 69. Never put metal in a microwave except for a tiny bit. Where did this tiny bit exception come from? The microwave doesn't care about scale. That little piece of foil or a bread twist tie is all the invitation it needs to host a spectacular and potentially final light and sound show in your kitchen. 70. If a snake bites you, you have to suck the venom out. This is only a good idea if your goal is to introduce a cocktail of human mouth bacteria directly into a puncture wound while also getting a mouthful of venom. It's a lose-lose situation straight out of a terrible action movie. 71. To fix bad breath, just use an alcohol-based mouthwash. That initial minty blast is a lie. The alcohol dries out your mouth, creating an even more hospitable wasteland for odor-causing bacteria to thrive. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It feels like you're doing something, but the outcome is disastrous. 72. Car stuck in the snow? Just gun it. Also known as the idiot's pirouette, this technique doesn't provide traction. It just digs your tires into a deeper grave while polishing the ice underneath to a frictionless sheen. It's an effective way to announce your helplessness to the entire zip code. 73. The best way to get over an ex is to immediately find someone new. This is the emotional equivalent of trying to fix a deep wound by covering it with a brightly colored, but ultimately useless bandage. You're not healing, you're just recruiting an innocent bystander to witness your emotional breakdown. 74. To pick a ripe watermelon, you must thump it with authority. Watch any dad in the produce aisle. He'll thump that melon with the intense focus of a safecracker, despite having absolutely no clue what a ripe thump sounds like. It is not science. It is pure, unadulterated agricultural theater. 75. When you get a new puppy, just let it figure out the rules on its own. This hands-off philosophy is a fantastic way to raise a furry little anarchist who sincerely believes your designer shoes are chew toys and your expensive rug is a luxury toilet. You're not fostering independence. You're cultivating chaos. 76. Follow your passion, and you'll never work a day in your life. This is the feel-good advice that turns a beloved hobby into a soul-crushing work week. It beautifully transforms your source of joy into your source of anxiety and a deep-seated resentment for the very thing you once loved. 77. Never, ever wash your cast iron pan with soap. Do this, and you won't just strip the pan's precious, hard-earned seasoning. You will summon an online army of cast iron purists who will descend upon your comments section to explain, in excruciating multi-paragraph detail, how you've profoundly failed as a human being. 78. Your old computer is running slow. The logical-sounding solution? Start deleting files you don't recognize. This is like performing brain surgery on yourself with a rusty spoon. That System32 file might look unimportant, but it's your computer's soul. You're not freeing up space, you're performing a digital lobotomy. 79. Starve a fever, feed a cold. This ancient medical advice operates on the baffling logic of a fairy tale curse. In reality, your immune system needs energy to fight any illness. Denying it calories is like sending your personal army into a major battle armed with nothing but harsh language and good intentions. 80. The fastest way to de-ice your windshield is to pour hot water on it. An absolutely beautiful demonstration of thermal shock in action. The glass doesn't have time to adjust. It just gives up on life, creating a spectacular spiderweb crack that instantly turns a $5 problem into a $500 replacement. 81. To set your makeup for the whole day, just give it a quick spray with hairspray. Why use a product designed for your face when you can use an industrial shellac designed to survive a hurricane? Your makeup won't move, but neither will your facial muscles. You'll have the flawless, expressionless permanence of a mannequin. 82. Honesty is always the best policy. Is it, though? Is it really the best policy when your friend asks if their new baby looks like a tiny, angry potato? Sometimes, a little bit of well-intentioned deceit is the only thing holding the delicate fabric of society together. 83. If you pull out one gray hair, 3 more will grow in its place. This myth turns a single gray hair into a terrifying, vengeful hydra. The truth is, you have one follicle. Plucking its hair won't make it magically multiply. It will just come back, still gray, and probably mock you for believing this. 84. You have to wait at least 30 minutes after eating before you go swimming. Generations of children have been forced to sit miserable and bloated by the poolside, all because of a myth that a full stomach will cause a cramp so cataclysmic that it will instantly drag you to the bottom of the pool. It won't. 85. We've all seen it. The sacred, superstitious ritual of tapping the top of a soda can to stop it from fizzing over. The pressure is in the liquid, not the lid. You're not calming the bubbles. You're just performing a pointless drum solo before getting a sticky soda facial. 86. To keep an open bottle of champagne bubbly, just stick a silver spoon in the neck. This is a favorite trick of people who believe that their good vibes can fundamentally alter the laws of physics. The spoon does nothing. The bubbles are escaping. Your champagne is going flat, but at least it looks vaguely fancy while it dies. 87. Money can't buy happiness. This is a lovely sentiment, usually offered by people who have plenty of money. While it may be true, have you ever seen someone frowning on a jet ski? Money can absolutely buy a much higher quality of distraction from your sadness. 88. Good things come to those who wait. This isn't wisdom. It's the official motto of people who enjoy watching opportunities fly past them at lightning speed. It's a great way to ensure you always get what's left over after everyone else has already taken what they wanted. 89. If you touch a baby bird, its mother will reject it because of your scent. Let's be clear. Most birds can barely smell their own food, let alone the faint scent of your grubby human hands. The mother bird doesn't care. She's just wondering why this giant, clumsy predator is harassing her child. 90. Goldfish have a 3-second memory. This is a comforting lie we tell ourselves to feel better about keeping a sentient creature in a tiny glass bowl. Studies have shown they can remember things for months. He remembers, Karen. He remembers everything. 91. To be more productive, you absolutely must multitask. This doesn't make you a productivity god. It just guarantees you'll do 5 different things with equal spectacular incompetence. You're not being efficient. You're just mastering the art of producing a higher volume of low-quality work. 92. Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. The science says no. The real consequence of cracking your knuckles isn't arthritis. It's the social exile you face from every single person around you who has to listen to that series of wet, popping sounds. You're not damaging your joints. You're damaging your relationships. 93. You must drink 8 glasses of water a day to be healthy. This arbitrary number, with no solid scientific backing, has launched an entire industry of motivational water bottles and hydration apps. You get water from food too. You should drink when you're thirsty, not because a bottle is shaming you. 94. If your toilet is clogged, just keep flushing it forcefully. This isn't a solution. It's a desperate prayer to the plumbing gods that they won't punish you. Spoiler alert, they will. You're not fixing the clog, you're just daring the toilet to share its horrifying secrets all over your bathroom floor. 95. In an argument, you must always get the last word. This doesn't mean you've won, it just proves that you value being technically right more than you value the relationship itself. You haven't secured victory. You've just successfully annoyed the other person into silence and claimed a lonely, pedantic throne. 96. Want to look like a savvy negotiator when buying a house? The classic power move is to make a lowball offer. This doesn't make you look savvy. It makes you look like you've just arrived from a planet where money is a joke. The seller will just see you as free entertainment before accepting a real offer from an adult. 97. You have an ugly water ring on your nice wooden table. Desperate times call for mayonnaise? Apparently so. There comes a point where you have to ask, am I solving a problem or just slathering a sandwich condiment on my antique end table? 98. Drinking coffee will stunt your growth. This was a brilliant piece of propaganda, likely invented by parents who wanted to keep their coffee for themselves. There is zero evidence for this. Your height is determined by genetics, not by your proximity to a Starbucks. 99. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This isn't a profound quote. It's a get-out-of-jail-free card for people who refuse to work on their toxic behavior. It's a flowery way of saying, I have no intention of changing, so please endure my awfulness. 100. Everything happens for a reason. A classic platitude often used to gloss over a truly terrible event. It suggests some grand cosmic plan is at work when you lose your job or your car gets hit by a bus. Sometimes things don't happen for a reason. Sometimes things are just awful. 101. And the ultimate stupid tip, just be yourself. This is wonderful advice if yourself is a charming, well-adjusted, and interesting person. But what if yourself is kind of an annoying jerk? Sometimes the best advice isn't to be yourself. It's to be a slightly better, less irritating version of yourself. And that was our deep dive into the Hall of Fame for terrible ideas. Now for the real question, and don't hold back. What is the single most infuriating piece of unsolicited advice you've ever received from someone who sincerely thought they were helping? Let the therapy session begin in the comments. And if this catalog of chaos brought you any joy, show some love to the like button and subscribe.